Welcome back to the Piping Pastor. Well, the corn cob is out, so you know what that means. Time for some more wit and wisdom. Well, I'd like to first of all welcome my new subscribers. And I've got quite a few of you who have signed up just in recent days. I imagine that was thanks to the kind words of my brother in the UK, Trucking Piper Bob. So welcome to the channel, and I hope you enjoy the content. I am smoking today, as I mentioned, in my corncob pipe, and in it I am smoking some Eileen string. As more frequent viewers of my channel will no doubt realize, I am not much of an aromatic smoker. In point of fact, this is the only aromatic tobacco I have in my rotation. And I bought this as a nod to my wife. Like many of you in the community, my spouse does not care for pipe smoke at all. So, and I'm much more of an English blend person, which is, the room notes are typically, for most people, not pleasant. I find them pleasant, but non-pipe smokers typically don't, especially my wife. And she's very sensitive to smell. Bought two really nice smoke eaters, and I smoke away from her and everything else like that. But she's never really enjoyed it. So I was like, well, you know what? I'm not an aromatic person. I don't typically like them, but I'll get this. It's a highly rated aromatic tobacco that a lot of people in the YTPC smoke. And I was like, well, maybe this will be okay. It's chocolate, it's vanilla. Very sweet. Surely that'll work. And so that way I can enjoy my pipe on the back patio, and the two of us are together in the evening and having a chat and whatnot. But even this, she doesn't like. So I bought it for nothing, but it's not a bad tobacco. I mean, I enjoyed it every once in a while. I had to be in the mood for it. And I find it pairs really well with a corn cob. Aromatics and corn cob seem to go together. But, it's not something that she liked. Happily, Brother Ethan, Parsimonious Piper, was mentioning about cherry tobaccos in his last video. Maybe 2 videos ago. And he and I had a wee back and forth chat about that. And apparently, from his perspective, the cherry bonbon from Mylan Tobacco is really rather nice. It's a good non-chemically aromatic, and has a very distinct cherry scent that his family seems to enjoy. So I'm going to give that a go. My wife's like, it doesn't matter. No matter what you get, I'm not going to like it. But I'm going to keep trying, If not, I'll still, be in the smoking lounge in here or outside, away from her on different days and different times and things like that. We've learned how to work this out, so I can enjoy my pipe smoking and she doesn't get olfactorily offended. But it would be nice, to have a tobacco that has a pleasant enough room note that she doesn't mind it. So we're going to give Mylan a go and see how that works out. So I'll let you know once I get that ordered and tried if that worked, or if I'm just going to have 2 aromatic tobaccos in my cellar just sitting there. I said, I'll get through it. It'll take a while because I just don't in the mood for it very often, but it will happen. In any case, to our reading for today. Now, I should start this every time with a nod to Hoot and Briar, Robert Hoot and Briar, as the sponsor for this segment of videos on my channel, because the pipe and the book came from Rob. So, and this was a series of videos that he did on his channel initially. So, I can say Wit and Wisdom brought to you by Hoot and Briar as the official sponsor of this segment. Now that I've said the term official sponsor, I wonder if YouTube's going to like flag this or something. Who knows? Maybe I'll get one of those nasty gram emails from them, cease and desist about official sponsorships. I'm going to keep saying the words too, just to see if it happens. But we can say thanks to Rob at Hoot and Briar for these materials. Well, the quote I want to get into today is something that I thought really tied into a series I'm currently preaching on. So that's why I wanted to bring it up. It sounds a little dark, but give me a minute. If the desire to kill and the opportunity to kill came always together, who would escape hanging? Now, what Samuel Clemens there is talking about is the sinful and impulsive nature of humans, right? That thank goodness there's a separation between that desire and opportunity. Because if not, then we'd all just act on the moment, right? We would just make that choice to respond to that urgent need rather than hanging on and waiting. And I'm doing a sermon this week on Exodus. And so I'll be talking about the tyranny of the urgent versus faith. Because see, in those moments, we can escape hanging if we choose not to. If we choose not to give in to that base emotional desire or need. And that comes with sin, generally speaking. You know, when Paul writes about this, he says that God will not test you beyond what you're able to bear. And even when God does test you, there will always be a way out. The key is you have to choose faith. You have to choose the good over the bad. You have to choose the moral and ethically correct decision based on what you really want to. I know when I did my video on the unconscious mind, I talked about id and the shadow and all those various different things. And you know what Dawkins refers to as the selfish gene, which is that part of our base nature, that alligator brain reflex to do what we want and take what we want. You know, the sinful nature as we talk about it in Christianity. There's still a choice there, right? When somebody cuts you off on the road, you can get angry and cut them back off or do something silly, and road rage, you know, is all over the place. We're aware of that. Or you can take the high ground and choose not to, right? The Israelites at the base of Mount Sinai had the opportunity to sit and wait, and they chose to make their own God. That verse says that they became corrupted. But if you dig into the Hebrew grammar there, that's I think a third person perfect nifl verb, which means that it's something that they chose to do to themselves, essentially. They corrupted themselves. They made the choice. After waiting for 40 days, they had enough. And they're like, you know what? We're going to make our own God and go our own way. It shows urgency over their faith, right? And that's kind of what Twain's talking about there. Now he's, you know, he doesn't have the most positive view of human nature, right? Good guy, smart, funny, but you know, a bit of a fatalist when it comes to humanity. He'd seen a lot, you know, and he'd seen a lot of negative things, and so, you know, for him, from his perspective, you know, if someone had the opportunity and the choice, they just do it, right? Because they wouldn't be able to stop themselves. But in point of fact, we can, right? I mean, the Bible shows examples of this all over the place where it points out that there is the opportunity for a choice. But in the end, you have to make it. So hopefully in your lives, when you come to one of those points, maybe not be as harsh as this example, but you'll think about that and you'll stop for a second and go, you know what? I have the opportunity to choose the high ground here. Even though nobody may see it, nobody may know except me, I'm going to take the high ground and choose the good. Well, that is it for this time on Wit and Wisdom. So look forward to our next video. And Cliff, I did not forget about you. I have already recorded the video in your response to the question about heaven. But after I recorded it and was editing and viewing it, I had some doubts about my translation of the Greek. And so I wanted to go back and check my Koine Greek grammar just to make sure I was not misspeaking when I was talking about the translation into English. And lo and behold, I was correct. As I get older, I want to make sure that I remember things correctly and I'm not misremembering something I learned in my Greek grammar classes. But I was correct, so it was okay. So I don't have to redo the video or anything, but I should be posting that in the next few days. And again, of course, if anybody else has any questions, theological, martial arts, fashion-wise, by all means, put them in the comments. I'd be happy to record something for you. So have a great week, and as always, happy reading.